Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 74. And today I want to discuss the biggest elephant in the room going into Boruto Chapter 75, which is the fact that Naruto is now sitting down with Amado face to face, demanding the very answers that we all want as a fandom, from how did Amado make Ada and Daemon as powerful as they are, to what their hidden powers are, to his reason for giving Kawaki the Karma Seal against Kawaki's will, and so many more questions that we have as a fandom. Amado right now has been placed in the hot seat, and for a man who seemingly has a backup plan in place for his backup plans and an answer for every single question that comes up, he's in a very unfavorable position. Ada has already told him that if Amado gets to Konoha and lies about why he needs Kawaki and what his motives are, or why he placed the control option into Kawaki to shut him down, that she and Daemon will kill him. Naruto giving Amado immunity and accepting his defection into Konoha was done on the condition that Naruto not only have Amado surrender all of his technology to Konoha, but Amado was also to share all his intel, and so far as Shikamaru has suspected, as well as to Naruto's credit, Naruto's privately shared his concerns with the other Kage about Amado. Nobody trusts what he's saying. They all know that he's lying. Amado is now in a position where he's a mouse in a room surrounded by a lot of cats who happen to be looking for any reason to devour him. The only question we have right now is who's going to take his head off first. However, now that all this has been set up and Amado has seemingly walked into the lion's den, the belief that so many people have, such as myself, is that Amado might just tell enough information to keep him off the hook with Konoha and Ada, but withhold enough intel so that in the future he can maintain leverage in the village should push come to shove. However, one comment that I've seen many people write in the comment section of the last few videos, as well as DMs on various social media platforms that I'm on, is that Amado might have planned for everything except for the return of Kashin Koji, and that Kashin Koji popping up right now is the one thing Amado did not plan for, and it's the one plot thread that could unravel Amado as we know it. So in today's video, I want to look at what has led people to saying that this might very well be the impact of what is getting ready to happen and what the fallout for this could actually be. So one of the first things that people point out is that Kashin Koji very well could be alive, because the last time we saw him, while he did have a grave injury, he did reverse summon himself away from Ishiki. At the time, Ishiki believed that Kashin Koji had returned back to Amado like a lost dog returning to its owner, and logically speaking, Amado was the best guess to make for where Kashin Koji might have went, because Kashin Koji realized that he'd been betrayed by Amado. A lot of people have said that the reason he didn't immediately confront Amado is because Kashin Koji realized that if Amado placed a shutdown code into Delta, there was a strong chance that Amado could have done the same thing to Kashin Koji, and based on his actions to control Kawaki, this makes a lot of sense narratively, because without Kawaki even noticing that this happened, Amado did the exact same thing. Kashin Koji is smart enough to understand that he's a loose end for Amado, hence why Amado sent him to his death, seemingly against Ishiki, so that there wouldn't be anyone there from Kar to potentially expose him if he began doing what we know Amado does best, which is use the art of selective honesty from the 48 laws of power and the art of controlling all the options by getting other people to play with the cards he's handed down. However, the belief is that Kashin Koji might be looking for a way to confirm if he has a shutdown sequence inside of him, and if there is, look for a way to disarm it so that when he appears in front of Amado again, Amado can't take out Kashin Koji. Now, this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen someone pull something like this off, because Obito became aware that Madara had done something to him by placing the seal on his heart and waited patiently for the right opportunity to have the seal removed. The idea that Kashin Koji will pull an Obito is something that many people have begun to suspect is the case, and I'll take things a step further here. If this is indeed the case, regardless of my personal opinion, if this is the case that Kashin Koji is about to return, it makes sense from a narrative perspective, because Kashin Koji returning when Amado reveals he has a shutdown code on Kawaki would be the perfect fit for the chapter, as well as Kashin Koji revealing that Amado's done a similar thing to Delta, which is something Ada can confirm with her Senrigan. From a narrative perspective, it would also pay out the moment where Naruto observed Kashin Koji fighting against Jigen and then fighting against Ishiki, and Naruto getting very unsettled over the fact that Kashin Koji fought a lot like Jiraiya used to, and Naruto spoke of him having a strong urge to be concerned for Kashin Koji despite not ever actually knowing him. We've seen Naruto be open to science and even accepting Orochimaru had been making clone children out of the Shin clones too. Even Orochimaru making his own children log and Mitsuki clones of himself. However, for as progressive as Naruto is with science, and Naruto's very progressive, this will be the first time where something like this hits close home to Naruto, and it will be jarring for him to realize that when he sat in that room with Amado, he was basically watching in real time someone who is genetically Jiraiya being sent on a suicide mission. And we all saw how Naruto took that information when he learned Tsunade sent Jiraiya to investigate pain without any type of backup. While Naruto now, at the age of 33, is a lot more mature than he was back then, Naruto still at times can lead with his heart and not with his head. And we saw how pissed off he was when he asked Amado if Kashin Koji knew what he was signing up for. The other thing that people have said is that if you look at how returns for characters we thought were dead have been handled in Boruto's manga, there's been a pattern in terms of extended wait periods to pay off the return after having subtle teases. And the belief by many is that there have been teases for Kashin Koji returning. Delta was shut down in chapter 44 and subsequently teased for a year as returning before she finally popped back up in Boruto chapter 68. Momoshiki died in Boruto chapter 10 and was shown again in Boruto chapter 30, and he fully returned in Boruto chapter 43. In both of those cases, we saw Momoshiki and Delta clearly physically return on page after being held out the manga for a few years. And the belief is that Kashin Koji's been out the manga for 2.5, almost 3 years, and if the pattern holds similar to Momoshiki, he should be physically returning in the next few chapters just before the 3rd anniversary of his death. Again, while I personally don't think this is the case, the connections are there that we have to consider what we discussed earlier, which is we continue to see Amado's pattern of having shutdown sequences on people, and in 2 of these cases, it happens to be people that Naruto has a strong connection with. Amado views Kawaki as nothing more than a cyborg tool. He doesn't see Kawaki as a small child who Jigen brought to him. Instead, he sees the small boy he turned into a cyborg, remodeling Kawaki's body like he did the car Inners, like he did Ada and Daemon, with scientific ninja weapon tech. Naruto, on the other hand, sees Kawaki as his adopted son, not as a cyborg, not as a tool to be discarded, but as a child who he's responsible for, both as a father and as a Hokage. Amado saw Kashin Koji as the same thing, a cyborg that is a shining example of his ninja tech and a tool to be discarded once it outlived its purpose. Naruto doesn't know Kashin Koji, and while Kashin Koji is genetically Jiraiya, due to having a different life experience, he isn't the Jiraiya who Naruto knew, but in Naruto's eyes, he's the man who Naruto viewed as being a father figure. Having the revelation that Amado did this to 2 people who Naruto naturally cares for, it will be an injection of instant conflict, and it would further make Shikamaru dislike Amado even more than he already does. In fact, it would make Amado be so caught off guard by this very revelation that he miscalculated, and it will force a man who has all the answers to make a mistake, and all it takes is one slip of the tongue for Ada to state whether or not he's lying. However, I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on this matter. Do you think the stage has been set narratively for Kashin Koji to return? Is Kashin Koji about to pull up on Amado the same way that Batman pulls up on criminals? Are you one of the Kashin Koji-ists? Just like how we got Jaegerists in Attack on Titan, we got Kashin Koji-ists, or whatever you want to call that. Do you think Kashin Koji is dead? If he does return, what will this do for the story? While you think that over, click here to watch my Every Devil Contract and Chainsaw Man Part 1 explained, or click here to check out this Naruto Explained video.